Let's quickly talk about EDO 2024 governorship election. There's been this debate. It excites me a lot when people talk about is a case of the Technocrat versus Homeboy. What does it mean? In few, because we have a limited time. Yeah. Let me begin with you, Comrade Collins Osara. Yeah, is this a contest between Homeboy and Technocrat?
Yes, of course. Because you know why? The EDO people.
What do you think? Yes. What do
the EDO people? Yeah. The EDO people have tried the Homeboy before, the street man, the ordinary man, and they got their results. They held it.
Okay.
Then they also decided to try an international technocrat, the one who have made many companies, and they said this certainly will make every street in Edo have a lot of companies, investment and what have you. They decided to also try, and the result was obvious. When they tried this, one was with them, the other one disconnected from them, and none of those promises they saw. So for them, they will be better comfortable with Homeboy. They don't want any person to claim to be an alpha and omega. In short, the most irritating thing now is when you come to them and tell them what you are not and you claim to be, it gets them now irritated. That is why they said we want to deal with people that live with us, and that is why we are very happy today. Some of the parties too have some local ingredient young men with capacity, with intellectual outstanding records to challenge whoever, and that is why we are happy. For example, in my party APC, we are extremely happy because we have an original Homeboy, which is the person of Pastor Sagi Zayamu, for example, where all of us are queuing and running because this is the real motto.
But it's not the only Homeboy in that party. There are several of them if you want to go on that plank.
And no, if really we have some other Homeboys, yes. But what makes him different is his own history, his background, where he comes from.
Yes.
Yeah, the issue of Homeboy is also a very lazy man way of argument. Who's a Homeboy? Now, Sonny Dew cannot go to his village and bid your job with somebody will tell Sonny Dew because you reside in Benin, you are no longer from your village. Is that the meaning of the Homeboy? Until you go to pepper soup in your village and then people will now say you are a Homeboy. It's very insulting that you are telling people in Diaspora. My friend in Diaspora is in US. Jerry Obasaki went in here. You will not tell him that he's not from those states because he resides there. You are telling Egbe Dosoma, who is in Europe, that he's not from Edo State because he resided. Do you know their commitment to this state? Those in Diaspora, those who are not in Nigeria, do you know who are not in Benin? Do you know their commitment? How will somebody sit down somewhere and start telling you that this is Homeboy? Who is a Homeboy? Who is a Homeboy? Who is a Technocrat? Are you yours? Somebody will be telling Mrs. Amadi now, who is from Ewohimi, that she's no longer a Homeboy or a Homegirl to Ewohimi. These are the issues you must look at.
So you're not comfortable with this argument?
No, I'm not. So what are the issues? The issues that we should be focused about capacity. Do you have the capacity to deliver? Do you have the competency? Do you have what it takes? Do you have the idea? We know the problem confronting us as a people. When people are not limiting it, you are reducing the whole thing. When you are not saying it's now Homeboy, you are reducing it. It's very elementary. My little daughter who was telling me what do they mean by Homeboy, I said I don't know. It's a reminiscence that those from Okwodwa will now look into my face and say, right, you cannot be the chairman of our association because you does not reside in Okwodwa.
But you always go home.
Is that what you mean by Homeboy? Okay. There is no bother in this one. As far as I'm concerned, those who have contested this very just now, Adas Aliu was the governor of Edo State. Was he a Homeboy? He came from Kaduna. How do you recite all those? Are you not going to be telling me that those are like this man?
But he can speak his language fluently and talk to his people.
The issue of speaking language is secondary. As far as I'm concerned, if you want to speak your language, I'm not talking my language here now. I'm not speaking Okwodo. I'm not speaking Esa. You should not take it to the next level. Children, there are children who are watching this program want to learn. Don't reduce it to speaking language.
Yeah. The interesting part of the conversation too, it has to do with the contestation between the technocrats and the traditional politicians. The feeling is that for the technocrats, they have this tendency to disconnect from the politician, and that always creates these conflicts, this crisis that we've seen over the years, using Edo State as a case study. Do you think that will be a factor in this election?
Of course it will, because that is an alien to democracy. In democracy, it's government of the people, for the people, and by the people. And who are the people? Will you not say because someone was helping you to go from street to street, begging people to vote for you, even when they don't know you, even when you were never around them, they have sold you. After selling you, You now come into governance and you are now telling them you want to make it an international style of governance and that they are local champions and they cannot be, they don't have what it takes. Oga, that is not the kind of government we are talking about. It is not, governance is direct. You must relate with the people often a time to know what their pains are. I haven't lived with them. Sometimes you may want to forget. And when you know all the corner you used to pass. If when I'm going to secondary secular, for example, I come through MMA by EDO College, I go through Oseme there. From Oseme there, I enter Otofure. Otofure, I bust back into New Market. Then I know that tomorrow, as a governor, when I leave the office, I may have reasons to drive through those corners. And I will need to tie those roads. Because when I'm passing again, the people may ask me questions. That is making me very, very local and common with them. That doesn't mean my sense of thinking is local. That doesn't mean I don't know how to govern. So what the people actually want is not by those big names acclaim. You have made people, you have not made your home. All this while, for example, you claim to have built a lot of industries, or you have helped people. How many have you set up in Edo, for example? In your own home where you come from, for example, you don't even know your street. You don't even have a house, for example. Now you are looking for a house to rent in Benin. We knew governors that came and they started renting an apartment, a flat. Come on now. You told us you were never poor. So you were never poor and you were wealthy. You couldn't come home to put something on ground where your people can always rally around you. And you think you can just come from blues and use English that nobody knows. To also be candid to you, some of these people who claim what probably they are not, by way of wanting to deceive the people. Academically, they are not even sound. If you really want to go in details, some of them can't even produce their result. They can't even show to you. Attending seminars and getting certificate from seminars doesn't mean you have had education. Or for the fact that you are speaking English doesn't mean really you are certified. Some of them are not certified if we really want to go dirty. But however, I think I am one of those who have suffered bad governance as a result of importation. That is why we believe that we need someone around us. Whether you are a homeboy, you are no homeboy, but what we believe is that we need someone who have lived with us, who have grown with us, who will understand the traditional dynamics and respect the traditional institutions, who will not go before the traditional rulers and be asking questions, what is the meaning or what do they use cola for? Okay. Or when you tell them to kneel down before His Royal Majesty, they tell you, no, in abroad we don't kneel down, we greet people high. Here we have custom and traditions that when we are before our fathers, we go on our knees. Right. So we have heard them before, who cannot kneel down.
Before we call it a wrap, what's your message to the political parties as it relates to the choices they will make in this election, in the primaries?
Of course, the primary is very direct. We must be bothered about capacity. The only thing that can fix this society is capacity to deliver. Forget whether that was why when he was talking, I was not the man. The world is evolving. We cannot be leaving behind. He's talking about follow a same there. I've been to some countries, I've been to some states I have not been to. We might go and negotiate all angles. Society is evolving. Why are we going so local at this level?
I just told you those are roots that I already know. So because I'm part of them, I will fix those roots when I'm in government.
Within the week, I was in Enugu. I've never been to that place. With my Google map, I found myself there. Society is working. They are working at a very spot. We won't need to follow them. The issue of that you have to know my man Kolisa Biapalo to be a governor. We need to jettison that and be looking at what can that person offer. What does he have? I don't need to know Comrade Kitchen for me to be governor. We must look at one. Do you have the experience? Do you have what it is? If you continue to live with the people and you don't have solution, why not just try? Those who have fixed the society over the years, they are all diaspora.
Do you think that there's always a problem with you having corporate experience and no political experience?
What is the problem of this society? Is it not because we keep on entrusting ourselves to those who are professional politicians who don't have any other address apart from politics? Is that not the reason we are backward? We must interrogate the whole process. We can't continue to do things in the same way and expect different results. We have patronized the politicians, and we found out we were in a struggle where we said we don't need all these professional politicians because what they think about is about themselves. Once they are not in government, everything must collapse. We must be looking at people who are going ahead. You are training your children in school. I'm training my children in school. What is the information? Is it not for them to come with ideas that will drive the process? Must we continue to look at that level? That somebody need to know where my man Okoso is selling rice before he can be governor. When society is evolving, you can hold your pan in your hand and know what is going on in Okwodwa. Go to Google now, you will see Okwodwa. You can trace my house in Okwodwa as remote as that. We must look at that level. Let us know this level.
Is it possible to have someone who can merge both and deliver to the people?
That is why
politics corporate governance, merge, deliver to the people.
That is why the people have always, before now, yearned to give it a try. Even in the federal system, where we have had imported ministers, just check histories. Some came from World Bank, some came from, just name them. And at the end of the day, what was the result? We were still crying and lamenting why they were there. So the lamentation have kept on. So even in direct governance, whether you call it a local government chairman, we have had some who came from America before to do local government chairman here. We were able to separate their local government from the one Homeboys ruled, because Homeboys were able to tie so many roads. For example, in Oredo, when Obasan was local government chairman, do you know how many roads that were tied? Cemetery, markets that were built. But at the time in the same Oredo, we had an imported American local government chairman that also came. It was, when you go to the council, we'll be screaming, when, and at the end of the day, what did we get? Nothing. And he will tell us, the money you have here, if I convert dollar, is bigger than this, I'm just only here, we'll suffer waka come on. That is what we're doing. But that is why the people really have seen, when you know me, or when I know you very well, you can be shocked. Oh, Collins is a governor to without contemplating, they have 99% settled that this time they need someone who is within them, and that person who is within them, who will be best for them, they know.